And I'm not going back to them either. If Grandpa's doing time, I'm doing time.
Look, Beeve, ease up on us, will you? We're just doing our jobs.
Do your job, okay? Stick me in a home where I'm not wanted and don't belong. And don't shoot me in the back either. I'm not armed. I'm not even tall.
Brian. Well, I feel like hell. How about you? I don't get paid to feel like hell. It just works out that way.
Daddy, you're not listening.
Oh, I see. You approve of your mother's boyfriend?
Tony, he is just a friend.
He's a boy and he's a friend. Yes, Dolores, I know how that goes. And you spend an incredible amount of late hours with your friend.
We go to the theater. We have a drink afterwards and we talk about the play.
There isn't a play in the world that can't be thoroughly thrashed and analyzed by midnight.
Aren't you guys being a little unreasonable?
Unreasonable? Your credit card bill, Thursday the 18th, a charge for $135 at the Palmer House Hotel. The cost of a suite. Is that reasonable enough for you? Dolores, it's him or me. You can't have it both ways.
Which means I have to have it your way.
Call me old-fashioned, but I still believe in fidelity.
Tony, those charges were for lunch at the restaurant. There were 4 of us. I didn't have enough cash, so we put it on my card.
You expect me to believe that?
Believe whatever you want. But it felt great.
Well, will you guys grow up?
That is not the point.
Then what is?
If your father just trusts me this much after 26 years, then this marriage isn't even worth saving.
Oh, terrific. Then go marry that new best friend of yours.
I thought you were my best friend. Nothing happened.
But then what's with the aerobics and then going to plays and your credit card?
Tony, I have to have something that is mine. There's ours, there's yours, but there's no mine. And I don't need any ultimatums. What I need is room.
You think that card of yours can handle dinner for 3 tonight? Come on.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me. Mr. Braybeck, we're the arresting officers in this case.
Hey, not to worry. Conviction's in the bag.
You sound pretty sure of yourself.
I know Judge Simon. We give her a clean felony bust, she gives us a conviction.
Yeah, but there's some extenuating circumstances here.
Relax, will you? Simon's the original hanging judge. Should send George Burns away for smoking in an elevator.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me.
Oh, excuse me.
Sorry.
All rise. The Honorable James Desmond presiding.
All right. Sit down. We all know the routine. Judge Simon is having root canal this morning, and I'll be sitting in her place. All right? Let's get this thing started, okay?
I object.
Mr. Coulter, you can object. The trial hasn't started yet.
Look, I don't care if he's on his lunch hour. Tell him I gotta talk to him and it's important.
I object. Mr. Coulter has the right to refuse counsel, but not to badger Mr. Sheffield with irrelevant questions.
Mr. Coulter, if you have a point to make it before Braybeck here has a stroke.
We doing all right here, Jack?
Fine, Dad. Just fine.
Jack, do you mind telling all these people why you wouldn't let your son attend his grandmother's funeral?
Well, because that particular weekend was my weekend.
Your weekend?
Yeah, I get Brian 2 weekends out of the month, and I had tickets to a ball game.
Oh.
Too bad she couldn't have died during a road trip.
I object.
Don't bother. I'm done with this guy anyway, Judge.
And after Captain Fuller informed you that the abductor was in fact your own father, did you feel a sense of relief?
I felt better, yes.
But not relieved?
No, I was still worried.
That's all, Your Honor.
Hold it. Where's she going? I got a couple of questions, Your Honor. Hiya, Captain.
Hi, Dad.
We doing all right here?
Yeah.
I spoke to the lady up at the state custody office yesterday. She was telling me that Jack requested the third weekend of visitations. You turned him down. Why?
Because he's taking him to these power clinics. Brainwashing is what it is.
Whoa, I'm trying to get the boy out of himself. You've got his nose buried in a book 24 hours a day.
You're out of order.
Did you ever think that he might want to go to those clinics?
Yeah.
And did you ever think he might not want to go?
Yeah.
He never told me he didn't want to go. He never said a word to me about that.
Look, I don't care what he wants. That man is not taking my son to those meetings.
No further questions, Your Honor. Your Honor, that is my grandson. And I do care what he wants. He's not a javelin for these two to throw back and forth at each other. So pardon me for stealing him, but that's the way I feel. Have a roll aid, Your Honor? I didn't have any breakfast.
Your Honor, Mr. and Mrs. Sheffield are Brian's biological parents, yet we're subjecting them to cross-examination when he's the one that committed the crime.
Counselor, this is a hearing, and that's what we're doing. We're hearing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Don't mention it. If there's anything you would like us to hear, this would be an excellent time.
Yes, Your Honor, as a matter of fact, there is. The ransom tapes. They're being transported by a bonded justice courier from Jump Street. Now, if you will allow them into submission, I believe I can get this hearing back on track.
Good. Is that evidence here?
Yo, somebody waiting for this?
And you are?
Sal Banducci, Your Honor. I don't believe we've met.
You have the evidence, Mr. Banducci?
Yep, and it's all here, too. I double-checked it on the way over. But I gotta tell you, this is pretty funny. Look what I brought to a hearing.
Are you a bonded justice courier, Mr. Banducci?
No, I'm a maintenance engineer.
Counselor, you realize, of course, that I have to rule this evidence inadmissible.
Your Honor, please.
This man is a janitor.
I object to the term janitor.
You can't object. Sit down.
Approach, Your Honor.
Approach.
I still think I can bring a judgment against him, Your Honor, even without the evidence.
I doubt that, son. You weren't doing a very good job out there. And, unless you are hell-bent on putting this gentleman away, this brings us back to a misdemeanor. Now, step back. All right, now, I'll tell you what we've got here, and it isn't felony. We've got a mess. Will the family approach the bench?